Welcome to On the Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Very good, Dave.
Back from your trip overseas?
Yeah.
How was it?
Very good. It was interesting. Great eye-opener, really. Was underbidder on a couple of horses, but took a lot out of it in the sense of how to go about sourcing the right horse to bring here. I think it can definitely be done.
That's good.
Just contacts and procedures to sort of
Vets and stuff like that.
And how it's all done over there. It's a little bit different to here.
Yep.
But yeah, it was definitely worth going, and I'll be back there next year and bringing one back to attack the big races here.
Yep, and the international stayers are all the rage in the Melbourne Cup. So after Tuesday, Fiorento won. It's an ex-UK stayer, and all the placings actually went to ex-European stayers. So that's where the Melbourne Cups are won these days. So you were sorely missed last week, mate. Tony stepped in for you. Let everyone into Polanski. We haven't seen Tony since last week, since Polanski won. He's disappeared. I think he's still celebrating. He's probably down King Street or the casino somewhere. So anyway, it's been a pretty straightforward week actually. The Melbourne Cup Carnival. Pretty much the favourite runners have won most races, and no big quaddies yet to date. The only upset really came from our mate Wes Hunter in the last on Derby Day with Smoke and Joey at $40. So anyway, there's the last day of the carnival, and two exciting Group 1s to finish off the carnival. The first is the Way for Age VRC Spring Classic over 1200 metres down the straight, mate. So who do you like in the Spring Classic, mate?
I like the Hong Kong galloper, Dave, Lucky 9.
Yep.
I thought he was a fantastic run in the Manikato. Listening to trainer Casper Founds 3 weeks ago on radio, he was saying that he wasn't wound up for the Manikato. He's going to use it as a lead-in to the sprint down the straight, and I just thought he just got left a little bit flat-footed when they went around him at the turn, buffering and co. And it took him a little while to balance up in the short straight at Moonee Valley, but once he did, he really attacked the line, and he only just missed. He just missed getting buffering. That's as good a form line as you're going to get going into this race, and I think going down the straight is really going to suit this horse, and I think he'll be spot on. $3.80 on the bid for me.
Yeah, that Manikato form is definitely the form coming through to this race. Sham Express just popped around him just before the turn and put him back a length, and he had to go 3 wide to make his run. He's a logical favourite for this race, and he's probably improved a lot in fitness. I just wondered whether he hasn't actually attacked the straight track yet. So I just wondered whether sometimes going around bends and going down the straight is a little bit different. So I'm just going for a little bit of value in this race. I think Sessions was a really good run in that Manikato as well. Sessions sat 3 wide on the pace that day. He kept fighting on and ended up running 3rd in that race. I've really liked this horse for a lot of the spring. I just think he gets a nice cart into the race behind Buffering, because Buffering's drawn barrier 1. Buffering will definitely lead. I think Sessions can just sit in behind him and then just pull out over the last 200 and maybe run him down. So I'm tipping Sessions to cause an upset in this VRC Spring Classic. He's $19 each way. He's got Hugh Bowman on board. So I'm going to have him each way, but definitely Lucky 9 is the horse to beat. And I also think that Moment of Change was a good run in that Manikato. I think he goes better down the straight. He can get a nice card into this race as well. The only thing holding him back is Luke Nolan's on board. But anyway, Luke, keep going, mate. You'll get out of this slump sooner or later.
Cool,
the big Group 1 for the spring is the Group 1 handicap over 1600, the Emirates Stakes, mate. And really an outstanding race this is. So what do you like, mate?
Ripping race, actually. Heaps of depth. Well, I like Sacred Falls, Dave.
Yep.
I thought he was a really good run in the Crystal Mile. Cost himself by missing a kick, and he was just having to travel to get a position, and he just missed the boat when Toy Deeney took off. I think he's turned it round. Well, I sort of said that he's turned the corner. the rain that's predicted is really important. Like if they can get like a dead 4 bordering dead 5 track, I think that's really going to help this horse. At the weights, he's in really well. Like he's won the Doncaster last year. He's at 4.5 kilo turnaround in the weights in his favour with Boban from the Epsom. So I think the only thing I was looking at this race, there doesn't seem to be a hell of a lot of speed.
No, I don't think there is.
But I haven't really seen a Emirates that's run slowly either. So I think there'll be enough speed for something. You know, he's drawn 6, he shouldn't go right back.
Yep.
He should just get cover and there should be enough speed for him to run on. But that's the only question mark I've got. But at the $7 quote, I think he's a nice each way bet. And I just want to say good luck to Wes Hunter, who's got Smoke and Joey.
Yes, backing him up.
Backing him up. He's going, that race has proved a right form race. If the horse runs a mile, he's a lovely lightweight chance there. So good luck, mate. All the best.
Yeah, well, I've got the mail I'm getting from the Waller camp is that Boban's just flying, and the weights, they reckon it's not going to hold him back. But I agree with you, there's no pace in this race. And I think that's a big key in this race, and I'm actually really keen on Spur Tonic in this race. He comes from barrier 13, but I think he gets across very easily, because I don't think they'll go hard. He was only beaten half a length in the Epsom, and they went at a very fast clip that day. And he was only he was right on their, he was right on the back of Boban, Streamer and Toydini that day, and he was on that fast pace. So I think if he gets a softer run, he drops a lot in weight from that Epsom run. He's another one that's sort of 4 or 5 kilos better off. So I just think if he can get through the first half of this race in a nice even time, I think he can sort of sprint that last 600. He's a horse that's won over 2,000, so he's going to be very strong over the 1,600 over the last sort of 400 of this race. I just think he's on the bit for me, and there's a little bit of money for him already. He was $10 fixed odds, but he's into about $8 now, $8.50. So Spur Tonic's the one I want to be on. But I'm not going to lay Boban this time. I don't think you are either. He has really jumped out of his skin. So Boban is definitely going to be the horse to beat in that race. Stable news, Lenny. Any stable news?
Not really, Dave. Just touching on what I was talking about before. A trip to Newmarket was, as I was saying, really good.
So our next trip is to Magic Millions.
Magic Millions. Magic Millions, January. We'll be trying to find that early maturing type, and closely followed by New Zealand, and I'll definitely will be in New Zealand this year trying to source a 3-year-old classic sort of horse that can train on to be a stayer. Yeah,
there'll be information sent out on the email about all of that, so anybody who follows us can always get us on the email and the websites. We haven't got much this week. All the horses are still going through their preparations, coming along nicely. The 2-year-old Long Road Colt, still progressing really well. At the moment, Anthony Friedman says he's going to take him to a jump out next Friday, so you'll be seeing this on Friday, the Friday next. And he's, if he goes well there, he's going to decide whether he press on to a start. So it could be exciting times to see our first 2-year-old hit the track. Best on breeding, Len. Who's your best on breeding, mate?
Race 5, number 7 at Flemington, Queenstown. She was a $60,000 purchase at the 2011 Magic Million National Sales.
Yep.
Beautiful pedigree by the Golden Slipper winning sire and sire of Crystal Lily and Stratum. It's out of she's out of a Zabeel mare.
Yep.
Regal Heights. This family's littered in black type, including the multiple Group 1 winners March Hare and Serious Speed. Multiple Group 1 winner Streamer is bred on a very similar cross, being by Stratum out of a sovereign red mare in who's by Sir Tristram, which is same sort of cross.
Yep. Yeah, she's definitely going to be hard to beat in that matriarch on Saturday. No value bets for me. It's going to be very careful though. We've just come back from the Oaks today, and They were tending to start coming out wide, so I expect they'll put the rail out for Saturday. So yeah, they could be horses on the fence, maybe ones you want to stay away from. On the bid special then, who's your on the bid special for the weekend, mate?
Race 8, number 4, Sartorius, Dave.
Yep, nice win last start.
Lovely win last start. He's a winner, this horse.
Yep.
Back in winning form, he was really impressive in the Bendigo Cup, which was a pretty strong race.
Yeah.
And the way he finished that last 100 metres really said to me that the 2600 at Flemington is really going to suit this horse down to the ground. He's by Galileo, so they stay all day. He's well weighted, and I think he's a fantastic bet at the $5.50 on offer.
Yeah, Puissance de Lune won the Bendigo Cup last year and then came out and won this at his next start. So the form line through that Bendigo Cup is very strong for that Queen Elizabeth. On the bit, I'm very keen on race 9, number 3, Caracardis for me. He ran 4th last Saturday down the straight over 1200 metres. His last 100 metres was his best work, and I think he's really ready to step up to the 1400. He's drawn barrier 5. Again, he's got Huge Bowman on him, who I just love as a jockey. Just going to put him in the right spot, and he's $4.60. I just think he's a great way to finish off the carnival the last race. Value in that race is another horse that come through that same race really well was Longport. And she may be one to throw into a Quinella into that race, but I do think Caracardis will have the advantage over Longport at the end of Saturday's race. Off the bit, Lenny, who's off the bit? This is our last edition for On the Bit for the year. So who are you off the bit for the last time this year, mate?
I'm going to Morphettville, Dave.
Yep.
Race 8, number 9, a horse that you'd know.
Yep.
Get Pronto.
I do know him. Yep.
Yeah. He's been winning really well on wet tracks.
Yep.
And he's going over there. He's going from a benchmark 70 at Horsham to a 0-86 at Morphettville. You'd think you're probably going to get firm ground, so he's going to have to go on a firm track, up in class, and he's $2.45 favourite. Pretty big risk for mine at that sort of quote. I'd be leaving him alone.
Yep. Off the bit, I'm not really, at the moment all the favourites have really been pretty strong through the carnival. I just think there's 2 horses that I really don't think can win, and I'd leave them out of quaddies for the weekend. I don't think Buffering can win the sprint. He won his Group 1 last week at the Manikato. From barrier 1, I think he'll be under pressure from that barrier. He will lead, but I don't think he'll be strong enough to hold him off this time. And I don't think precedents can back it up after winning the Moonee Valley Cup in the Queen Elizabeth. So I'd be leaving both of them out of quaddies for the weekend, and stick around the ones that we've led you into. So as I said, the last edition of On the Bit for the spring. Thanks for having us. It's been an up and down spring, but we think we're going to finish off really strongly. So we'll see you out there Saturday. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
See you later.